You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. A lot of celebrations on here today. National Daughters Day. I don't have one of those, so I know there's a lot of people, especially at dads and daughters, special bond. I couldn't figure out how to make girls, and apparently so far, my boys haven't figured that out either yet since we have two grandsons. What else do we have going on today? Comic Book Day. Are you a comic book reader? Today's National Comic Book Day. Josh, you a comic book reader? Oh, he is? Okay. I don't think I've seen a comic book in years. My grandson's not into that. We're still into the Disney books and the color books, but he can read everything. 3 years old. He's I think he might be a better reader than I am. It's pretty amazing what some of the kids do nowadays. Let's see what else we've got going on. A National Quesadilla Day. Okay, I like quesadillas. Doesn't do very well with my diet, but you know something? I'm going to go there, Josh. I'm on the seafood diet, so today's National Lobster Day. So we can go with that because maybe it's a little different seafood than what they're talking about here. But I like lobster. Those are weird pictures of lobsters. Those are little tiny. What are those? Langostinos, maybe. Okay, so I like the big meaty lobster. There used to be a place in New York that I would go, Francisco's. Now, who would think of Francisco's would be the name of a lobster place? But you can go in there and you just tell them what size lobster you want, and that's what they had there. You your 3-pound lobster, 4-pound lobster, 5-pound. They even had one time they had a 12-pound lobster. I haven't been to New York in quite a while. I don't know if it's even safe to go there anymore. But National Lobster Day. So it brings me to our question of the day, because I was on a call earlier today and the host said they're not a big fan of lobster. How can you not be a fan of lobster? Lobster rolls, whole lobster, Maine lobster, lobster tails. But would you prefer lobster or quesadilla? Put it in the chat. Let's hear from you. Lobster or quesadilla? If you're listening to us live on ABC News and Talk, just yell at the radio and we will hear you. Lobster or quesadilla? Okay, Josh, which one are you? Lobster or quesadilla? Which, it probably might depend on the time of day too, right? I like lobster, and in Yorba Linda, Yorba Linda Rotary, they do a lobster fest each year, right around Mother's Day time, and oh, okay. Josh, you're sitting on the fence there, man. Lobster in a quesadilla. Okay. So I digress. So Yorba Linda Lobster Fest for the Yorba Linda Rotary. And they do a great job, like 1,500 people, and they raise a lot of money at their Lobster Fest. And they don't know, it's all you can eat steak and lobster. So I don't have much steak because of my gout, but that's a different story. Lobster, at the end, if there's extra lobsters left over, they'll sell them. And we brought some lobsters home, and lobster egg, a lobster omelet the next day. I hadn't thought of it, Josh. Lobster in a quesadilla, that would be good. Lobster anyway. Lobster roll. I love lobster rolls. Okay, let's move along and see what else is going on in the world today. Let's see what are the markets doing? The Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 214 points. S&P 500 is down 4. NASDAQ up 12. Oil down $1.32 a barrel. Let's see what else. What's the 10-year Treasury doing? That's up a little bit. Why? Okay, well, maybe the bonds have come down over time, and the yield has been coming down. And ever since the Federal Reserve lowered the discount rate, the bond rates have been going up a little bit. So why would that happen? Well, maybe it's because when the discount rate, which does not affect mortgages, indirectly it might, but the discount rate came down, money market rates have come down. So folks that had money in money markets might be looking to put money elsewhere. They're also putting it in the stock market, which the stock market has been hitting all-time highs almost every day. And we're going to see, it's going to happen. We're going to see a movement of money out of the stock market and out of other areas into U.S. Treasuries. Why? Because the world's getting to be a much more dangerous place. And you listen to some of the market, what's going on in the election, very, very close election. I have no idea why. It's a lot of people have no clue as to what they're talking about. They only vote based on the letter at the end of the person's name. I mean, or you get somebody like Mark Cuban who made a lot of money, but the more I listen to him, I wonder if he graduated. Did he graduate from college? I know he went to Indiana University and created a big a broadcasting network that he sold to Yahoo for billions of dollars. But the more you listen to the guy, you got to wonder, is there anybody home? Why? Because you look and say, okay, he says, well, he likes the Harris plans better. More inflation, more world chaos, more immigration or illegal immigrants, more crime, and this is what he's supporting. Can somebody help me understand why? Now I'm looking at the Harris plan for as far as, well, some of it she even created on her own. Some of it's just straight what she learned from President Biden is plagiarism. So we can look at that and you see, okay, we see the plagiarism that's there. And like the no taxes on tips, she copied that from Donald Trump. She wants to expand the child tax credit expansion, child care and pre-K cost assistance, ACA premium credits, more paid leave, housing policies, blowing up the United States Senate. I shouldn't say that. I mean, that's her plan would do that because all she understands is abortion, right? That's the only thing that she ever talks about. So she wants to get rid of the filibuster. How did that work out for Harry Reid when he did that and got rid of the filibuster on the things that he wanted? And then the Republicans came back and said, okay, Harry, you did that, so we're going to get rid of the filibuster on Supreme Court justices. And now Kamala wants to get rid of it completely. So we'll see what happens. But I digress. The idea there, more chaos. More chaos means people start going to some of the safer investments. And some of those safer investments tend to be U.S. Treasuries. We'll watch them and see how that goes. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, why buying now may be worth it in the long run, the down payment assistance you didn't know about, and how homeowners can leverage their mortgage to achieve financial freedom. We'll talk about all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to find out what your monthly principal and interest payment would be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, you should. You can get it for free. Our mobile app, ronismylender.com. Ronismylender.com will give you that app. What did rates do yesterday according to OBMMI? Conventional 30-year fixed locked 6.11, jumbo 30-year fixed 6.45. That was down. FHA 30-year fixed up 5.93. VA 30-year fixed up 5.55. USDA 30-year fixed up 6.07. That USDA loan, if you're in a rural area, there's generally no down payment on that 30-year fixed USDA loan. There are other qualifications, but it is a good program for the right person. Not as good as the Home Select, RSR Home Select, but it is a good program nonetheless. If you want our thoughts about the market, each day as early as the data allows, we do put out our report, rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. That is our report. Again, we put that out each weekday morning or each business day morning as early as the data allows. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today now. We got the S&P 500 is now down 5.20. 10-year Treasury is up 4 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are down 15 basis points. When that bond goes down, that means interest rates go up. Don't like seeing that, but it is what it is. Let's see why these things are happening, though. So let's take a look at that and check out the why behind all of these things that are going on right now in the marketplace. Got some interesting reports that came out this morning, and we are going to talk about some of them a little bit more in depth a little later in the broadcast. But we got mortgage applications from the Mortgage Bankers Association reported that mortgage rates fell to 6.13 from 6.15 and were down 1.25% lower than this time last year. Purchase applications increased 1% last week, rising for the 4th week in a row and are up 2% year over year. This is the first time the purchase application index has been positive on a year over year basis in 2 years. Refinance activity surged 20% higher last week and are up 17.5 or 175. I can't see it because my eyes are up 175% year over year. Refinance has made up 56% of total applications, up from 51% in the previous week. We're going to talk about that more when we talk about how to achieve. My computer's going very, very slow this morning, so it's driving me crazy. How homeowners can leverage their mortgage to achieve financial freedom. We're going to talk about that. Let's look at new home sales. Measures signed contracts on new homes fell 4.7% to 716,000 unit annualized pace, beating estimates of 700,000 units. Additionally, July was revised higher by 12,000, causing today's number to appear lower. There were 467,000 new homes for sale at the end of August, which was up from downwardly revised 459,000 in the previous report. At the current pace of sales, there is a 7.8 month supply, which is up from 7.3%. But wait a second. Only 105,000 are completed. When looking at the pace of sales versus homes that are completed, that's the available supply. There's only a 1.7 month supply, up from 1.6. This means that 362,000 homes are either not started or under construction, and it's unclear how many will actually make it to the finish line because financing and carrying costs are very high. The median home price was reported at $420,600, down 2.9% from the previous month and down 4.6% year over year. Remember what the median home price is good for. Absolutely nothing. Why do I say that? Well, the median home just tells us the mix of properties being sold. It says nothing about the homes on your street. If you want to know that information, you can go back to yesterday's Mortgage Minute, where we talked about the Case-Shiller and the FHFA appreciation reports showing homes are still going up 5% a year. So even though the median is down 2.9, that only tells us about the mix of properties. It doesn't tell us about the homes on your street. Bottom line, unlike the existing home sales counterpart, which measures closings and likely represented buyers shopping in June and July, the new home sales shows signed contracts in August and shows that demand is picking up as rates have moderated. And this report does not include the further drop we have seen in September, which will likely lead to continued strength in these sales figures. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So let's chat a little bit about some of these different refinance programs. And like I said, I've got a very in-depth report that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But one of the things I want to make sure you're aware of is don't forget our two-step. Yes, I know. No, I don't dance. That's not what I do. But rsrlinks.com/two-step. rsrlinks.com/two-step. And right now, as interest rates are coming down more and more, you need to be looking at this program. It is a great program for those of you. I was on this call again this morning. We were chatting about, I have no life, so I get on a call with a bunch of other industry professionals around 6:30 every morning, Pacific time. They think it's funny because it's 9:30 on the East Coast where most of them are. So they laugh at me, but I digress. rsrlinks.com/two-step. So what is it? We were talking this morning on this call. There's some credit cards now that I've been told about that are going from a 30% interest rate to 36% interest rate. That means your balance doubles every other year if you don't pay it off in full. The balance doubles every other year. So why do I talk about that? Why is that important to you? Well, when you look at the two-step, rsrlinks.com/two-step, what we're really talking about there is how do we get you out of debt and onto a firm footing? And when you take a look at all the different costs you have involved in your existing household debt picture, you're looking at that and you're saying, okay, I've got a great interest rate. I'm still below 4%. And I hear this all the time. And I look at it and unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Because if you're getting a 36% interest rate on your credit cards, and yes, they can take them and say, okay, as of next month, we're going to 36%. I think they have to give you a 60 days notice or something like that. But it's not a whole lot of time. But they're basically going in there and saying, how do we figure these things out? What are the numbers that we need to look at? Well, you need to look at blended household interest rates. That's all that matters, is what is your blended household interest rate? Well, you look at that and you say, okay, how do I figure out my blended household interest rate, Ron? Well, I have a calculator, so I cheat. So I have a blended household interest rate calculator. And what I do is I just put in there, what is your mortgage rate? And what is your, do you have a home equity line of credit? We look at all those things. What are your credit card rates? So if we put in here that we've got and I'm just going to throw numbers in. I have no idea what this is going to come out to at the end because I'm just throwing numbers in the calculator as I talk to you. And I'm saying, what if you have a 3.5%, 2.95% mortgage rate on a $750,000 home? And you've got several credit cards. And I'm going to say that it used to be that the average interest rate was 22.84 on your credit cards. But what if you just got that increased notice saying that it was more than that? And so I'm going to say, what if half of your cards went up to that? The other one stayed at the 22.84. And so here's what we're going to look at. We've got several cards. We've got a $13,350 car payment, 5.95% interest. A $13,000 car payment, 6.95% interest. We've got credit cards we've got three credit cards, or we've got several credit cards. Let's throw in numbers on them. And let's say all of them, and these are not outrageous numbers, but let's just say all of them have $10,000 balances. And we got one of them that's got a $5,000 balance. Oops, I just put too many zeros on that one. $5,000 balance. And your student loans are at $47,500 at a 7% rate. Okay, so I just put in all of those things in there. Your car payments, I know those balances are a bit low, but when we put it in there with a 3.95%, now we're looking at a 5.475% interest rate. But what's more important is we're looking at all these different things and we're saying, okay, what are our payments coming out to? Our payments are $6,415 a month. $6,415 a month. Now, when I take and put that number into our analyzer and I say, okay, we've got a mortgage that's now going to go to $868,000, 868,123, and let's say we can do it at a 6.75 interest rate, and we've got 360 months remaining. Cancel, it didn't like that. So we've got 30 years remaining. Okay. So now when I look at that, our payments have dropped dramatically. Didn't I tell you that your payments right now were $6,400 and they dropped now to $4,700 a month. So they went from $6,400 to $4,700. Now, the question would be, what happens if we take that extra, well, let's say $6,400 to $4,700 is $1,700. Let's just add $1,000 extra to our payments every month. Now we're going to be paid off in 18.1 years, and we're going to save $400,000 in interest. Paid off in 18.1 years, saving $400,000 in interest. Think about that. That's why we talk about strategy beating rate always. So we increased your interest rate. We went from a 5.47 blended rate to a 6.75, and you're going to save $400,000 and have an extra $700 a month to spend. You've got to think about all components here, not just about what the part of it that looks sexy and that you've got a cheap interest rate. It doesn't matter when you're looking at it. That's why, as a certified liability advisor, we're constantly looking at ways to help your financial success through liabilities. That's why we've got a book, rsrlinks.com/YCLA, rsrlinks.com/YCLA. Get our book for free, rsrlinks.com/YCLA. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, why buying now may be worth it in the long run, the down payment assistance you didn't know about, how homeowners can leverage their mortgage to achieve financial freedom, and more. Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Why buying now may be worth it in the long run. Let's see why. Should you buy a home now or should you wait? That's a question a lot of people have these days. And while what's right for you is going to depend on a lot of different factors, here's something you'll want to consider as you make your decision. As soon as you buy, you'll start gaining equity. And you'd be surprised how quickly that can add up, even with more moderate home price appreciation. Each quarter, Fannie Mae releases the Home Price Expectation Survey. It asks over 100 economists, real estate experts, and investment and market strategists what they forecast for home prices over the next 5 years. In the latest release, experts project prices will continue to rise nationally through at least 2028. And if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart of estimated home price performance December to December as forecast from the third quarter 2024. And we're forecasting all the way out to 2028. And you can see that for 2024, they're forecasting a 4.73% appreciation. 25, they're expecting a 3.11, 26, 3.29, 27, 3.75, and in 2028, they're looking at a 3.88 appreciation. While home prices are going to vary from one local area to the next, this shows they're expected to keep going up nationally. The size of the increase varies from year to year, but the important takeaway is that prices are forecast to rise every single year, just at a moderate pace. And that's basically the historic numbers. It's not like it's going anywhere crazy. While rising home prices may sound great right now, once you own a home, that growth will be a big bonus for you. Here's a look at what you stand to gain equity-wise once you buy. Again, we got a graph. Use a typical home's value and those home price expectation survey projections to show how much equity is at stake. Potential growth of a house wealth over the next 5 years based solely on increased equity if you purchase a $450,000 home January of 2024. Wow, look at that. It goes from $450,000 in 24 to $540,000 in 2029. That's a $90,957 appreciation. Remember, those are national numbers. In Southern California, we can probably add maybe double those numbers, right? Because we have higher appreciation and higher home values. if you bought a $450,000 home at the beginning of this year, based on that starting value and the expert forecasts from HPES, you could gain more than $90,000 in household wealth over the next 5 years. That is significant. So if you're ready and able to buy and growing your wealth is important to you, you've got an opportunity in front of you. And now that mortgage rates have fallen, it may be time to consider making a move. Talk more about your option, what makes sense. Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We'll be able to tell you what home prices are doing in your area. And obviously, you know, if you're a listener to Ron Siegel Radio, we can tell you exactly what's going on in your area. rsrmoney.com. They actually give you the values of properties at any address that you want. And you can also go to rsrlinks.com/market report, rsrlinks.com/market report. You can actually put in whatever zip code you want, rsrlinks.com/market report. And we've got each zip code. That's from our friends over at Altos Research. And they track every home for sale every week, every home for sale in America every week, and put that out by zip code. And you can get some great information as well. Mortgage Report says, quote, given the intricacies of the current market, it's more important than ever to stay informed and up to date about housing market conditions. Whether you're looking to buy or sell in the remaining months of 2024, having a professional guide you through the process can make all the differences, unquote. Bottom line, the decision to buy now or wait is a very personal one, but it's valuable to have an expert's perspective. We don't push you, but we explain things you may not have considered, like the equity that's at stake. And you'd be very, very surprised to know that it is amazing how many people we consult that say, okay, I want to see how long it's going to take me to be able to buy a house. And we go and we look, and they already qualify. It's just that they haven't been going through some of the programs that, you know, that we talk about. And it's probably your neighbor doesn't know all the different programs that are out there. I'm not saying anything against your neighbor. I'm just saying most of them don't have an idea of all the programs that are out there. I wonder how many of them know about the USDA loan, right? They're used to, you got to put 20% down, which is not right in and of itself. There are programs with nothing down. There are programs with 3% down, 3.5% down. And in a minute, we're going to talk about something you may not even be aware of as well. But that's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. So let's do another Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com. Real-Time Real Estate brought to you by rsrmoney.com. The down payment assistance you did not know about. There's a lot of them. Believe it or not, almost 80% of first-time home buyers qualify for down payment assistance, but only 13% actually use it. And if you're hoping to buy a home, this is a mission-critical gap to close. Again, take a look at the chart that we're showing you. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 video feed. And if you're watching on any of our socials, make sure, give us some love on there. Right? Hit the like button, subscribe button, thumbs up button, whatever you're seeing out there. Heart, I think, is another one. I don't know what other ones there are, Josh. Josh will know those things. But you've got the like, the subscribe, the thumbs up, the heart. I don't know. There's a lot of them. But you're seeing a chart. More first-time home buyers qualify for down payment assistance, but few use it. 80% qualify. 13% are actually using it. Here's what you need to know to make the most of your down payment in today's housing market. Amplify your down payment potential. For first-time buyers, the name of the game with down payments is making sure you're taking advantage of all the resources out there designed to help you. And a bunch of them can get you to your goal faster than you may have thought possible. For example, there are loans that require as little as 3% down or even nothing down for certain qualified borrowers like veterans. We love our veterans. There's no down payment for veterans. So if you're going into lease, you could buy that property for a smaller down payment. Let's not forget down payment assistance like grants and other opportunities that help you cover the upfront costs of your down payment. If you're interested in exploring those options, what you may be able to use to your advantage, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, because if you don't at least see what's available, you could be leaving money on the table and missing your chance to buying a home. These resources can boost your down payment, and a higher down payment could help lower your eventual monthly mortgage payment and even avoid or reduce your fees like private mortgage insurance. You might even use that money to buy down the interest rate permanently. Don't let news headlines about down payments scare you. There's one more thing to address. News coverage has been talking about how the typical down payment is rising. A report from Redfin states, quote, the typical down payment for U.S. home buyers hit a record high of $67,500 in June, up 14.8% from $58,788 a year earlier. This was the 12th consecutive month the median down payment rose year over year, unquote. But don't let those high dollars scare you. Just because the average down payment is rising doesn't mean down payment requirements are going up. That's a key piece of the puzzle to understand. It's really just because people are choosing to put more down to try to offset higher mortgage rates, and current homeowners who are putting their equity to work are using that to increase their down payment on their next home. As Housing Wire explains, quote, buyers are putting down a higher percentage of the purchase price to lower their monthly mortgage payment, and buyers also had more equity from their home sales, which gives them more cushion, unquote. Now remember, is it smart to put more money down? Well, if you do it strategically, it might be, but take a look at the book we've got out, rsrlinks.com/YCLA, rsrlinks.com/YCLA. We are certified liability advisors. We help you build wealth through the liabilities, doing those the right way. Let's break down the two reasons a bit. Number one, a bigger down payment helps lower your monthly mortgage payment. Affordability has been a challenge for many buyers recently, which is why those who have the ability to make a bigger down payment are going to do so in an effort to lower future housing costs. Number two, buyers who already own a home have a record amount of equity to leverage. Someone who bought a home a few years ago has gained a significant amount of value in their house thanks to home price appreciation. These people can put down much more than the average first-time buyer who hasn't owned a home yet. But should they? Let's think about this. If you had the ability to put 40% down, and instead of putting 40% down, you put down 25%, and you use 3, 4, 5% to buy down the interest rate, your interest rate becomes the same. So let's just use the number that you use, 5%, but you have 10% extra. That's $60,000, say, on a $600,000 loan. And you take and invest that into some safe and secure investments, and that's earning you, maybe 10% interest. Stock market has been going up 20% lately. I don't want to use that number because that means more risk. But I do know some investments, and I know some folks that sell them. I don't, so I can't share it with you. But you can get 7 or 8 or 9% very, very safe. Get that money safe. Think about that. So now you're borrowing at, say, 4.5 or 5, which you can do if you buy down the rate, and you're getting 8 on the return side safe. Okay, so now your money, you're doubling that leverage for yourself. Buyers, bottom line, what's the best thing to do? Give me a call at 800-306-1990. Book an appointment with us. You can go to rsrlinks.com/bookrs15. Quick 15-minute consultation. rsrlinks.com/bookrs15. That's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. When we come back, we're going to chat about how homeowners can leverage their mortgage to achieve financial freedom and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporate.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the Borrow Smart segment. Today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. The debt consolidation refinance, how homeowners leverage their mortgage to achieve financial freedom. The debt consolidation refinance takes advantage of the fact that mortgage rates are typically lower than those of credit cards, personal loans, and even auto loans. By refinancing your mortgage to a larger amount than you currently owe, you can use the additional funds to pay off your higher interest debts. This consolidates your household debts into one monthly mortgage payment, simplifying your financial obligations. Generally, that payment is going to be lower than what your existing payment is. You use the extra money to pay down your mortgage more quickly. And as we talked in the earlier segment, cut that mortgage payment by a significant amount. Number one, we got to talk about the blended household interest rate. Before deciding on debt consolidation refinance, it's important to understand your blended household interest rate. This is the weighted average of the interest rates of all your outstanding debt, including your mortgage, credit cards, auto loans, student loans, and any other personal loan. By calculating this rate, you can see the true cost of your debt and assess whether refinancing will lower your overall interest payments. For example, if the blended rate of all your house debt is 12%, but you can refinance your mortgage at 6%, the savings over time can be significant. How to calculate the blended interest rate? Multiply each debt's balance by its corresponding interest rate. Add those figures together for a total. Divide by your total household debt to find your blended rate. Second, we always talk about safety, liquidity, and return. Safety, liquidity, and return. That's why you got to get our book. rsrlinks.com/YCLA. rsrlinks.com/YCLA. These three principles guide the decision-making process when using home equity to pay off debt. Safety. Protecting your home's equity is essential. By refinancing to consolidate debt, you're transferring unsecured debt, like credit cards, into secured debt, your mortgage. This can reduce your overall financial risk, but it's critical to ensure you have a solid repayment plan so you don't risk foreclosure. Liquidity. Consolidating debt into your mortgage improves liquidity by freeing up cash flow that would otherwise go toward high interest payments. This allows you to allocate resources towards savings, investments, or home improvements. Increased liquidity enhances your ability to handle unexpected expenses or invest in growth opportunities. Return on investment, reducing interest payments is a direct boost to your financial return on investment. Every dollar saved on interest can be redirected into investments, retirement savings, or paying down your mortgage faster. In the long run, the savings from refinancing at a lower rate can compound, increasing your overall wealth. So what are the advantages of debt consolidation refinance? Number one, lower monthly payments. One of the most attractive benefits of consolidating your debt through a mortgage refinance is the lower potential for monthly payments. By rolling your higher interest debt into a single payment at a lower interest rate, you can significantly reduce your monthly financial obligations. This not only provides immediate relief, but also improves your ability to plan for the future financial goals. Number two, interest savings. Credit cards, auto loans, personal loans typically come with high interest rates, some exceeding 20%. Mortgage rates, however, are often much lower. By refinancing your mortgage and using the funds to pay off higher interest debts, you could save thousands in interest payments over the life of the loan. Even though you may extend the term of your mortgage, the interest savings can make a significant difference. And remember, by using some of that extra money to pay down the mortgage, it actually can reduce the term of your mortgage. Number three, improved cash flow. After refinancing, you'll have one streamlined mortgage payment. Since this payment is likely lower than the combined payments of all your individual debts, you'll free up cash flow. This additional liquidity can be used for other important financial goals, such as saving for retirement, building an emergency fund, or even investing in home improvements that have increased the property's value. The blended household interest rate is a key consideration. Understanding your blended household interest rate is critical when considering a debt consolidation refinance. If your weighted average interest rate across all debts is significantly higher than the interest rate you get on a refinance, the decision to consolidate becomes financially sound. This calculation ensures that you're making a decision that maximizes interest savings while considering how long you plan to stay in the home and the closing costs of refinancing. For example, if you have $15,000 in credit card debt at 20%, a $20,000 auto loan, 7%, a $250,000 mortgage, 4%, your blended rate might be around 5 to 6%. Refinancing your mortgage at 4% to cover the credit card and auto loan would reduce your blended rate, resulting in significant savings over time. What are we doing there? We're using some of the money to buy down the rate. The role of home equity in debt consolidation, your home's equity, the difference between its current market value and the remaining mortgage balance, can be a valuable financial asset. By tapping into this equity through a debt consolidation refinance, you can access funds to pay off credit cards, car loans, or other high interest debt. Number one, home equity loans versus HELOCs. In addition to a full mortgage refinance, you might also consider other options such as a home equity loan or a home equity line of credit. These allow you to borrow against the equity in your home while keeping your existing mortgage intact. A home equity loan provides a lump sum with a fixed interest rate, making it ideal for paying off a large amount of debt at once. A HELOC offers flexibility, acting like a credit line that you can draw from as needed, which can be helpful for all future expenses. Each option has its benefits, but it's essential to weigh them against your overall financial goals and the principle of safety, ensuring that your home equity remains protected. So the pitfalls to avoid when consolidating debt: not addressing the root cause of debt. While considering debt into your mortgage or using home equity can provide immediate relief, it's crucial to avoid falling back into bad spending habits. If overspending was the cause of the initial debt, consolidating may only serve as a temporary fix. Establishing a budget and focusing on paying down the debt you've consolidated is essential to long-term financial health. Number two, refinancing without a clear plan. Refinancing your home loan to consolidate debt should not be done hastily. It's important to calculate the true cost of financing, including closing costs, fees, and the interest you'll pay over time. Ensure that the savings from the lower interest rates outweigh these expenses and that you have a clear repayment plan. Remember, strategy beats rate always. Bottom line, for homeowners, a debt consolidation refinance can be a powerful tool for reducing high interest debt and improving overall financial health. By refinancing your mortgage to pay off credit cards, auto loans, and other debts, you can lower your blended household interest rate reduce monthly payments, and free up cash flow for other financial goals. However, it's crucial to approach this strategy with care, ensuring that the decision aligns with the principles of safety, liquidity, and return. Done right, debt consolidation can provide homeowners with a path to financial freedom while leveraging the equity in their homes to secure a brighter, debt-free future. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Tides that I tried to swim against.